I'd like to take a look at the new functionality in the VAA title block and VAA revise issue print command in Vectorworks 2010. Now, just a couple of bits of background information first. This functionality is largely made possible by some improvements in Vectorworks itself. The first of those is the automatic drawing coordination feature, and you need to make sure you have this turned on. So if you go to Document Settings, Document Preferences, you'll see there's a new checkbox here called Use Automatic Drawing Coordination. So we need to have that turned on. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that you will notice in the Sheet Layers tab here, in the Organization dialog, there's now a sheet number, and this used to be the sheet name, and also the sheet title, which is like a description of the sheet. And when you edit the name of one of these, you can see that you've got sheet number and sheet name. So you can set up your layer names, your sheet layer names, and the title blocks are automatically going to coordinate with those. So let's go ahead and have a look at how that will work. We'll now switch to one of these layers, and you'll see here I've got a number of sheet layers in here, and this one is purposely misnamed. It should be WD4, and you'll see how we can fix that in a moment. So we'll go to the first one and take the title block tool in the annotation tool set, or in the DIMS notes tool set if you're using the Landmark AUS workspace. Come in here onto the drawing and click twice. Let's choose the base symbol, and I'd like to choose a base symbol that has a plot date in it, and you'll see that in a moment. Let's go ahead and click OK, and straight away you can see that the title block has picked up the layer description and the layer number. And we'll go through the other. And again here, elevations, WD2, double click, place another one, sections, WD3, and this should be details, WD5. Now this is not a one-off coordination. This is a direct link between the layer name and description and the title block. And what this means is that if I edit the title block and change the name in here, that is meant to be WD4, and let's say the details were 1 to 5 or something like that, click OK, you'll see not only has the title block changed as expected, but you'll see that the layer name has also changed. And if I go into the layer and change this, and let's say this is details 10 to 13, click OK, click OK, that changing it in the Organization dialog also changes it in the title block. So this is a two-way coordination. Now, a new checkbox here allows you to turn this off on a title block by title block basis. So if you need to disable this for particular title blocks, there are a few scenarios where you might want to do that if you have divided your sheet layer up into multiple panes, or you might have some layers that are no longer, or some title blocks that are no longer being used, but you want to keep them in the file or whatever. You can turn this off. Okay, so the next thing I want to look at, let's open this dialog again so we can see this. You'll see that there's been a change here to the plot date. We now have the ability to automatically put the plot date onto drawings when they're printed, regardless of how you print them. And you don't have to do anything. If you leave this on auto, then that's all you need to do. Now this refresh plot date here, I'm just going to use it, but then I'll describe probably why you shouldn't use it. If I click this, you'll see the short format, the medium format, and the long format, and these are determined in your system settings for your computer. So however you've got them defined in there is how they will appear here. And if you set it to manual, then you're able to actually enter a date or delete the date. So let's set it to manual, and just bear in mind that manual entry there, because I'm going to talk about that again in a moment. Let's set it back to short. Now, the reason we don't want this to be populated at this point in time is that we haven't actually plotted this sheet yet. So we don't want this to have a plot date. And I don't want to automatically, if I switch this to medium or long, to automatically have today's date come in here, because today may not be the day that I'm actually going to plot the drawing. So typically this will be empty, or it will have the previous plot date on it. But if you do want to refresh it to today's date, then you can use this button to do that. Alright, so we've got it set to auto short, and let's click OK, and we'll go ahead and plot this file now. So I'll just use the print command, and you'll see when you go to the print command there's a new checkbox, this one here, reset plugin objects, and this is for precisely updating the plot date, so you've got to make sure that that is checked. And we'll just preview this. I won't print it because you obviously won't be able to see the print. And let me just shrink this down a little bit. So there's the preview of what is going to plot, and you can see down the bottom here that the plot date has in fact appeared there. Hopefully you can see the plot date there, and if we go back to Vectorworks, then you will also see that the plot date has appeared in here, and if we were to edit the title block, then you'll see that the plot date has appeared in here. So this field here should always be populated with the most recent plot date. Could be today, could be last week, or whatever. Alright, now that was one way of plotting the drawing, but if you use revise issue print, then the same thing will work, and you don't have to do anything. If you choose the sheets here to plot or print, then print them. The plot dates will get updated on the printed copy, and also the title blocks in the file will get updated to whatever the date is without you doing anything. Now, I mentioned the manual plot dates, so this functionality here has changed a little bit. If you want to set the plot dates manually and you have the title blocks set to use manual plot dates, then checking this box and entering a date here will actually update to whatever date you put in here. I think most people are actually going to leave that turned off and just let the system work automatically. You would only do this if there was some reason that you don't like using plot dates, or you wanted to fudge actually when the date the plot was printed, what date the plot was printed on. Alright, so now we're still in this dialog, so let's take the opportunity of looking at another addition here, and that is the ability to batch print PDF from this dialog as well. So we have batch print, and now we have batch print PDF, and you'll notice a couple of little changes here. This is going to print whatever sheets are checked here, and you also have the option to create a separate PDF file for each sheet. And when you have a separate PDF file for each sheet, then if you click batch print, then it's going to print the file name and put the sheet number at the end of that for the title for each of the PDF file names. So you can tell from the file name of the PDF whether it was WD1, WD2, and so on. We won't actually plot that now. If you have this unchecked and click batch PDF, then it's just going to create a single PDF file with all of the files in it that you have checked in the list here. Okay. Two more things to show. Firstly, it's not uncommon for people to call me and say, look, we've changed something in our default title block in the VAA TB resources file, and what do we do to make that update the files that we've used, or the title blocks that we've used in existing drawings, because our logo's changed, or we've changed our address or something like that. So now you'll notice that in the choose base symbol that you have the ability to re-import current symbol now by checking this box. And what this is going to do is to go back to the original description of the symbol in the file and re-import that into this drawing and then update all of the title blocks. So it's just, you could do that before, but it was a manual process. You had to go through and regenerate each title block after importing the symbol and agreeing to replace the existing one. So now it's just a lot easier. If you go back into the master file, into your master file, and edit your title block, and for whatever reason, then all you need to do is to click re-import current symbol, and it will update all of the title blocks from that symbol. So one final thing that I want to mention here is the fact that we've added some reports. You might want to produce a drawing list based on all of the title blocks that you've used. So you'll notice now in the Tools menu, if we go to Reports, down to Create Schedule, and you scroll VAA title block. If we click OK, and then we can click on the drawing to place it where we want it, then we will get a list of all of the drawings that have been used. And I've got this pre-configured to show the sheet number, the sheet name, the sheet size, the revision and issue, project number, project name, and file name. Now if you don't want some of those fields there, easy enough, just double click. It will open the worksheet and you can select the column you don't want by clicking up here in the column header, and then just right click on this and choose delete columns. Or if you don't want the revision, you can also do it from this drop down menu here. You'll see delete columns, and then you can close it down and you've got the list there. Now just one other thing, if the only drawings that will appear in this list are drawings that have this title block is active. So if I was to duplicate this title block like this and then uncheck that, let's go back to the layer and we zoom in on this, and I right click on this and choose recalculate. Oh crap.